Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Another horror story. Look on the screen. America's teens are America's terrorists. This one right here, I'm going to have to go with terrorists. Let's go ahead and listen to this news clip. Some young girls enjoying their day. And this man right here, this young boy, he decides to go ahead and, hey, going to pull a robbery. And unfortunately, because of that, the beautiful young lady here, Kayla Rincon Miller, she lost her life. So let's listen to the news clip. Very unfortunate. From the movies with friends in Cape Coral. So again, girls having their day, out to the movies, and then look what happens.
Each of those three girls had guns in their faces by their attackers. In moments from those car doors opening, shots rang out and Kayla Rincon Miller dropped to the ground.
We're staying on top of breaking news. Right now, the jury in the murder trial of Thomas Stein is working to decide his fate. Stein is one of the teens accused of killing 15-year-old Kayla Rincon Miller, who was coming back from the movies with friends in Cape Coral, walking down a street just off Del Prado back in 2024. Gulf Coast News reporter Jalen Barron, who has been covering the trial for us, takes you through both sides' closing statements as they tried one last time to sway the jury.
The jury has two different stories of what happened that night in 2024. What defendant Thomas Stein said on the stand Friday.
Did you shoot and kill Kayla Rincon Miller?
No, sir.
And what his co-defendant, Christopher Horn Jr., told the jury that Stein shot Kayla Rincon Miller in a robbery gone wrong.
Why did the gun jam?
So now you're going to be listening to the co-defendant. These were male teens in a robbery gone wrong, and the girls just come back from the movies.
Because he shot.
Cape Coral police say a group in a gray Nissan Pathfinder pulled up on Kayla and her friends as they were walking from the movies to a McDonald's with two friends. The state and defense left the jurors with their final thoughts before deliberations.
Thomas Stein told you a lot about that night and tried to paint himself as an attempted hero that night. He tried to paint himself as the victim, as the patsy for this entire event.
Oh, yeah, I sold it. I sold it on the same platform I used to sell all my drugs.
There are four main lies told by Christopher Horn. One, who the shooter was. The shooter was this guy, Jaden. That's just a made-up name I picked out of a hat. The shooter is Thomas Stein. Right? In order to save Zabegan, that's what he's saying. She lost her friend, and she wants justice, and I don't blame her for that. Someone should pay. But here's the thing. Justice doesn't cut corners. And the right people should pay for this.
Stein is charged with first-degree felony murder, attempted robbery, and burglary. Count on Gulf Coast News to bring you the verdict when the jury comes back. At the Lee County Justice Center, Jalen Barron, Gulf Coast News.
Now, guess what? Let's go ahead and fast forward because the jury has indeed just reached a verdict. Talk about timing here. They've reached a verdict, okay? So let's go ahead and see what the verdict is. America's teens, America's terrorists.
The defendant is guilty of first-degree felony murder.
Breaking news
shocked.
at 11. A jury just convicted 18-year-old Thomas Stein of first-degree murder, delivering justice to the family of a Cape Coral girl who died during a botched robbery. Stein killed 15-year-old Kayla Rincon Miller as she was walking with friends in Cape Coral back in 2024. Thank you for counting on Gulf Coast News at 11. I'm Peter Bush. Reporter Jalen Barron was in the courtroom all day long, and she walks us through the decision from the jury tonight.
The defendant is guilty of first-degree felony murder. Count 2. Attempted robbery. Kayla Christina Rincon Miller. The defendant is guilty of attempted robbery with a firearm.
After about 5 hours of deliberation, the verdict is in. 18-year-old Thomas Stein found guilty on all counts against him. 2 years after the death of 15-year-old Kayla Rincon Miller in Cape Coral. Kayla's friends and family declined to go on camera, but they were in court all 6 days of the trial. There were many hugs and tears after the verdict was read. Thomas Stein's mother, Jessica, who took the stand during this trial, alongside Stein's other family and friends, left the courtroom highly emotional as the verdict was read.
Do you have any comment for us at this time?
Stein's attorney told us no comment. This follows emotional testimony on the stand from Kayla's friends. Late last week, they shared what it was like the night Kayla was shot and killed.
Telling her it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
One of the friends
just
talking.
didn't want to believe it. We immediately called 911.
Thomas Stein remained calm throughout the day Monday, but showed some puzzled expressions during the state's final arguments.
He's the one with the guns. He's the one with the car. He's the one with the mom that permitted him to smoke weed and play with guns. He's the bad influence.
Stein will be sentenced at a later date. Meanwhile, Stein's co-defendant, Christopher Horn Jr., faces a possible 25-year sentence as part of his no contest plea. Cape Coral.
Wow. So his family, they're having an issue. Look, all he had to do was get a job. But did you hear what the news said? His mother let him smoke weed, play with guns. Oh, now look. And to think, the young girl, she's with two other girls. So they're witnesses. So he decides to get in the vehicle and get a gun, just gonna rob some and just rob some other girls. Get what I want. See, my thing when it gets like this may not be the first time. Maybe it's the last time. Yeah, some people say, oh, this person doesn't have a prior criminal history. Maybe the person just hasn't been caught yet. So his family's upset. Can you imagine what the victim's family feels? This was 2 years ago. She was 15. She should have been 17 today, maybe about to graduate. A life just stolen because he wanted to rob someone. He and his friend wanted to rob someone. Put a gun on him. What could you have gotten with teenage girls? What, $20? What? And I really think he was shocked by the verdict. When they read, I saw how his head popped up. I think he was shocked. He might have thought he was going to be found not guilty and go home. Maybe he thought he had the complexion for the protection. You're a murderer. America's teens are America's terrorists. In this case, I'm going with terrorist. His family is upset. What about the victim? I mean, it is unbelievable. She was with two other girls. Did they expect him just to go home and say, well, I guess her life didn't matter? So the next major point will be, what will the sentencing be? Don't want to work, field entitlement is how I see it, and probably a weed head. Oh, so gotcha. What did he need the money for? Rent? No, probably, I'm guessing, some more smokes. Is that what it was? He needs some money for the weed man. And the fact that he would go out there with the other friend with a gun, that definitely tells me that they planned it. Just to take someone's life because, oh, you want to go ahead and rob them. Now, poetic justice, he's robbed himself of his life. He is in for a nightmare he won't be able to endure. Oh, trust me. He is in for a nightmare. And General Pop, he will get got. It reminds me of this guy. They were some white supremacist in Texas teens, somewhere in the backwoods of nowhere, and they were driving around saying, "Oh, we're trying to find maybe a black person that we wanted to, unalive." And so they did drive around together, and they did encounter some black people, but I guess they wanted an easy target. Like they talked about, they had come across a black man, but I guess his size, they probably thought, "Oh, he's kind of built. He's, we can't take him on," especially the little redhead, scrawny one. So lo and behold, they're driving around looking for someone to unalive. So they didn't find a black person that they thought they could take as an easy target. They found a Caucasian special needs girl. And it was a special needs girl who was living her life, got out of high school. I believe she had a job. And she was just walking alone. And they unalived her. Yeah. They were just bent on taking a life. They were caught. They went to prison. Next thing you know, the main one, the headhunter, that little scrawny evil thing, demon being, He was in the prison and he wanted to go ahead and he was asking for the death penalty. He did he did an interview from the prison. He wasn't getting out of that. I think he got life and he was asking for the death penalty and he was like, I just lost my will to live. No kidding. So you took a life and now being arrested and in prison, now you're probably too scared to take your own. Now you're asking the state to give you the death penalty. Wow. Be careful what you wish. So this here, he took her life. Yours is over too. You may be here physically, but in what condition? You're young, thin, you don't have the hands for it. He has no idea. Well, he probably has an idea what's coming. So we're going to see, since he likes to inflict pain and take lives, something is about to be taken from him. His manhood, his well-being. You know, they do pimp people out in prison. So we'll see what the sentencing will be. But the audacity of his family to be highly emotional. One of the little boys that's with him already turns you in. So you got two of the girls that are witnesses, and then one of the guys that was with you already turns you in, gave you up for a lighter sentence. And his family has the audacity to cry. He's there because he put himself there. He took a life. So the next thing will be interesting to find out what will be the sentencing. Again, America's teens, sometimes America's terrorists. My heart goes out to the victim, Kayla Rincon Miller. My heart goes out to her. Unnecessary. All because he and some other teens, they wanted to rob someone. Wow. Let me know what you all think about this horrible tragedy. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share them out.